Howdy, y'all. Man, look, I got something I gotta talk about here. Gandhi once said, I'm gonna paraphrase so somebody doesn't say I misquoted him, that upon visiting a church, later questioned, they asked him what he thought, and he said, I like your Christ, but I don't like your Christians. I am more offended by some brothers and sisters in Christ and their behavior right now than I've been in a long time, okay? That's not like, ooh, they did a bad thing. I do bad things all the time. You know, I don't do the good that I want to do. I do the bad that I don't want to do. All the time. Not every choice, but like, good Lord, I'm trying. I'm talking about how we operate as a church, how we treat other Christians, right? Not just other people. Imagine walking into a hospital, bleeding, you know, knife sticking out of you, and you're bleeding. And it's a relatively new hospital. It's all bright and shiny and new and filled with the doctors and staff that are new on mission for this place. And they say to you, we need you to leave. We can't treat you here. You might bleed all over our nice new lobby or our new facility. You're making a mess. In fact, you're making a scene. And when that person is like, what do you mean? This is a hospital. This is why you exist, right? You're an emergency room. And then the cops get called. And then they extract that person and put them in handcuffs and put them on the ground. Does that sound like the love of Christ to anybody? To anybody, for anybody. But to then go a step further and reach back over the next 2 weeks or so and end up reiterating and clarifying, hey, look, you should reconsider. Please don't come here. Please find somewhere else to go. Now, of course, that would never happen, right? Not in your nice, shiny church. Not mine. Right? Oh. So, at this point, I don't even know what to say. Except, shame on you. I'm not going to call people out by name. I'm going to choose not to mention the shiny new rebrand of a church that can't have blood on the carpet. But when we see our brothers and our sisters struggling, we should come alongside them. We should be praying for them. The last thing we should do is tell them, I'm sorry, we can't have an outburst during service. It offended people. Hey, when you got really upset and you said a bad word or said some things that hurt Karen's feelings, we can't have that. That's not nice. And this is a problem, right? Jesus didn't say, blessed are the peacekeepers. He said, blessed are the peacemakers. So if you're just shushing and sweeping and putting stuff under the rug, because like, we don't do that in church. We're nice and we're quiet and we're right. That's why people hate the church now, man. And I know that the tides are changing, but like there's so many church hurt people out there. So that when I see incidences like this, in this case, I am flabbergasted. It's like, I know I'm getting old, right? But I must be getting really old because my response is like, I'm going to write a letter because I'm not going to go into the church and attempt to give everybody a piece of my mind. I've already put distance between myself and those people. And at this point, if you've had an experience like this, look, I want to hear about it. It's real simple. I want to hear about it because I want to talk to you. I want to know who ministered to you. Did you get better? That's the wrong way of putting it. Have you recovered from it? Are you back in church? Did you find another church? Did you go to a different religion, denomination. What happened to you? How many people have we lost because of this kind of nonsense? And that's what a lot of the millennials and a lot of the Gen Zers are saying, like, well, you taught this thing in church. And you said these things in church and outside of church. But when the rubber hit the road, oh, sweetie, we can't have that here. I'm sorry. You're going to have to find someplace else. No words. No words. It's one thing for all of that to happen in the moment, right? But then weeks later, to make sure that you call somebody up and tell them, like, we can't have that. We'd appreciate it if you found another hospital. And if you don't understand the analogy and why I'm ranting about this, it's because a church is not a perfect building for perfect people. It's a freaking triage for the lost and the found and the wounded and the bleeding and the dying. Because Jesus is the one that offers us life and nothing else. So, praise God for modern medicine. Praise God for drugs. Praise God for doctors and therapists and counselors. But if we, as Christians, as churches, can't do our job, that's not how they're supposed to function. I don't know what else to say here. I realize this is somewhat of a problem for mega churches because we have thousands of people on live stream. Homeboy, you've got like 4 to 10 people on live stream a weekend, and you're worried about somebody having an outburst in church because it's obvious they're going through something and they need something. Another thing pointed out to me this morning was the absence, let's just say vagrant. I don't know if they were homeless, unhoused, sloppy, whatever. We had a number of people coming in, getting ministered to, coming out of the cold, getting food and supplies, at least what was offered. I couldn't say. But there were people that were always mean-mugging those people. I mean, I look like one. Dude, I'll throw on like a ratty t-shirt or something. Like, that's exactly how I look. So, since another incident had previously happened, and let's just put it mildly as there was a leadership change. A leadership change. Is the word coup appropriate in a church setting? Because another topic. Ever since then, those people aren't around. So were those people dirtying up our floors? You know what I'm saying? They get a smudge on the desk, on the wall. I know I don't deal with people correctly all the time. I know I could do better. I recounted an incident last night driving around. I think I made a mistake. I feel like I failed a test, okay? Interacting with a stranger on the street. Because I didn't step out and say, sure, ride with me while I deliver packages. Scooted everything over, rearranged. I could have done it, and I probably should have done it. And it's killing me now. We're told in the Bible that we should always show hospitality to strangers, right? Lest we entertain angels unaware. For some of us have entertained angels unaware. I've had other incidents like this in my life. I've been praying about it for God to show me things in the spirit once again. And last night I failed the friggin' test. Not in a hostile way, in a conservative way. Hey, I'm on the job. Got all these things. I don't know where you need to go. But you know what? She didn't ask even to be taken somewhere. She asked, can I ride with you? I need to get out of the cold. And I erred on the side of doing my job and thinking logistically instead of, yes ma'am, hop in. Who knows what she had to tell me? Because my chance to minister to her was showing her the love and the kindness that she needed, and I freaking screwed it up. All right? So this whole rant is not like I'm high and mighty. I screw up every day, and there's a perfect example. Could have charged her phone. Do better. Do better. This link is going to end up where it needs to for the person that needs to see it, and they can speak to their fellow leaders. I'm using that word because that's the word that they use. You don't deserve the title. Look around. Look around at what you've built and where it's degraded to, and what has happened that you're more worried about what it might look like, or thinking logically, right? Sometimes it ain't about the live stream, or about this person got offended, or that girl was worried about her virgin ears. Oh my God, she said an F-bomb. If we can't live in the world like Jesus did, we're useless. We're useless. We're just a cult. We're just hanging out in our ivory towers. Spend my whole life in academia to figure out the ivory tower sucks, man. They are awesome people. They're brilliant people. But showing up there bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and expecting, like, we're going to talk about great things and high things. This is the same experience I'm having with a lot of churches. Do better. You're watching this and you're just like, something that tea is hot. Yeah. No joke. Go with God. Be blessed.
A few moments later.
I turned off the camera because I made it all the way to Indiana where I got to make my deliveries. And what's on the radio? My man David Jeremiah. And what is he saying? It's Christmas time. It's the perfect time to be hospitable. That we should be hospitable always, but especially at this time because we may entertain angels.